It's Friday, and that means it's time for Friday Follies. And for that, we turn to Fox News contributor Raymond Arroyo. All right, Raymond, it's hard days for superheroes, I understand.
It is. It's a bird, it's a plane, it's a cancellation, Laura. Batgirl, this $100 million film epic, it was scrapped by Warner Brothers this week. The film featured Leslie Grace's Batgirl, Michael Keaton, returning as a very creaky Caped Crusader, and Brendan Fraser as the villain. But the movie was totally canned following test screenings. Now, it was something I can imagine.
Screenings. Well, who needs test screenings? Like, the trailer had, when you looked at it, it had Bat Bomb written all over it.
You keep this up, you're gonna die.
Well, Matthew Bellani, Laura, who hosts Spotify's The Town podcast, he spoke to someone who attended this Batgirl screening. It wasn't received well.
He said that after the screening, the executives, Walter Hamada of DC and some of the others there, asked the audience, did this feel big? And the consensus was absolutely not. He said it played like a TV pilot. The stakes were very small.
Laura, they threw millions and millions of dollars, Warner Brothers did, at this. It was originally kind of a small movie. They threw $100 million. And when they screened it, it was so flat, they decided to take the tax write-off. It's not even being shown on HBO Max. Nothing.
Well, the lead,
no coverage. They're burying it.
I don't know anything about this, but if I were to guess, I would guess that the lead was flat.
Well, maybe. Who knows? We'll never get to see it. But here's the interesting thing.
But she's not even in the promo.
No, you barely see her there. 32% in a new Morning Consult poll. 32% of Marvel comic fans think they're getting a little tired of so many superhero movies. So the bloom may be off the rose
here. The cash cow.
And things are so unstable at DC for the superheroes. Jason Momoa, Aquaman, has apparently started a side hustle as a flight attendant. He's no longer plunging into water, he's giving it out. And there he is.
Thank you for choosing. What's up, guys?
Such a great job. You're doing such a great job.
I'm not a big fan of man buns, but I make an exception for him.
Oh, you
He's
and Rebecca.
Cute.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
Well,
so does Sam, by the way, she just said.
Oh, yeah. Extra
he's
water.
Cute.
Extra water.
Water, another.
Didn't
Didn't you just have a water? Oh, just another one.
I'd like another, yeah. Okay, well, superheroes are not the only ones underwater, Laura. We've been reporting for weeks the dangerous side of theme parks, from riots to brawls, family come-aparts. Well, this week at Disney World, it's not only a small world, but a torturous one. Not only did the ride, known as the happiest cruise that ever sailed, trap visitors in their boats for over an hour, but one of them started to sink. Laura, this attraction was built for the 1964 World's Fair. It was probably built when the BMI was a little bit lower than it is today.
That's like how they have to make the extra wide coffins now for people, right? And apparently, that no one was hurt, right? No one was hurt. So as it was slowly submerging itself, apparently the music kept going. So that's a nice touch.
But that's the most torturous part of all, to have to sit there and listen to that song for over an hour. Just imagine that. These people should get free passes.
Remember when
forever.
I got stuck on It's a Small World and I didn't get off for almost an hour and 15 minutes? That was like several years ago. Yes, and that music, I think I couldn't get it out of my head and all the puppets moving back and forth. I think it was all a micro and macro aggression. All right, speaking of sinking ships, the Democrats, that was so easy, are so desperate for someone to rescue them from Biden that their great sages like Bill Kristol are pushing John Legend to run for president. Oh, this is good.
Even old political hands like David Axelrod, Laura, seem drawn to this possibility of Legend as political messiah. He appeared on Axelrod's podcast and was asked about his friendship with Kanye West.
Well, we aren't friends as much as we used to be because I honestly think because we publicly disagreed on his running for office, his supporting Trump. I think it became too much for us to sustain our friendship, honestly.
So he's the most, intolerant person out there. This is the typical liberal. They claim to be so tolerant and open. Aren't we woke? Aren't we? in the end, they're snobs. Well, if you don't agree with them, they want no part of it.
I just don't like the idea that you end friendships over political differences. That's not the way America works, and certainly not a leader. But, you know, the greatest obstacle to legend ever being president or pursuing politics can really be described in 2 words. Chrissy Teigen. Can you imagine this woman as First Lady?
I think it's possible to be really angry all the time.
If there was one word you would help, particularly women, use more frequently, what would that one word be?
F you.
I'm
sorry, speak of the
You're very...
First of all,
charming woman.
She's having a baby, which is awesome, and she had some struggles with that, so that's fantastic.
Yeah.
The desperation on the part of Democrats is so palpable in going there.
Well, and they've been trying to rehabilitate Chrissy Teigen for a number of years since she told that teenager, go kill yourself. Again, when you disagree with somebody, wishing them death or ending friendships are probably not the right way to go. She did apologize, but I just don't know if this has political legs. I think it's got as much float to it as one of those small world books.
A legend in their own mind.
Legends in their own mind.
Raymond Arroyo. It's so fun to be in the studio, just exuding positivity as always. All right, Raymond, thank you.
Hey, Sean Hannity here. Hey, click here to subscribe to Fox News YouTube page and catch our hottest interviews and most compelling analysis. You will not get it anywhere else.